On February 5th, 1959, a fatal plane crash occurred in Clear Lake, Iowa, that killed 3 rock and roll legends, Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Ritchie Valens, along with the pilot Roger Peterson. The original flight was for Buddy Holly, Dion, and Waylon Jennings. The plane arrived to Moorhead, Minnesota, would cost $36 a seat, which Dion decided he did not want to pay. Waylon Jennings decided to not take the seat because of a cold he had acquired, and exchanged his seat with the Big Bopper. The last seat was up for grabs between Tommy Allsup and Ritchie Valens, and they decided to settle it with a coin toss. That resulted in Ritchie Valens winning the seat. The plane left at 1 a.m. and was battling against an abrupt snowstorm, and the plane crashed only a few minutes after the takeoff. Buddy Holly was born on September 7th in 1936 in Lubbock, Texas, as Charles Hardin Holly to Lawrence Holly and Ella Drake. Buddy had 2 older brothers and 1 older sister, Larry, Travis, and Patricia Lou. His nickname Buddy was given to him as a child. Buddy was born into a talented musician family, and he was able to learn how to play guitar side by side with his siblings. Buddy's greatest influences consisted of Hank Williams, Jimmy Rogers, Bob Willis, Hank Snow, Carter Family. Buddy's attendance to Elvis Presley's concert gave him the drive in deciding to pursue a music career. A little later down the road, Buddy was even able to open for Elvis several times at his concerts in 1955. In 1956, Holly signed with Owen Bradley with Decca in hopes of releasing the music he had worked hard on. Holly was able to release a few songs, but ultimately Decca notified him that they would not renew his contract and declared that in a span of 5 years, he could not record the same songs for any other producer. After achieving only a few achievements with Decca, Buddy Holly formed the band The Crickets, with Joby Malden as the bassist, and Nikki Sullivan as the guitarist, and Jerry Allison as the drummist. The creation of the band name allowed Holly to bypass Decca's contract. The Crickets song, That'll Be the Day, was released in 1957 and became their first hit when it climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Top 100. Buddy married Maria Santiago in 1958 after being together for a total of 2 months. Buddy and Maria were together for 6 months before the plane crash. Maria was pregnant with Holly's child and unfortunately suffered a miscarriage. According to Jensen, Buddy's influence can be found in all genres of music: punk rock, heavy metal, and even hip-hop. The Big Bopper was born on October 24th in 1930 as Giles Perry Richardson Jr. to Giles Perry Richardson Sr. and Elise Richardson. He had 2 brothers, Cecil and James. The Big Bopper went to Lamar College and later dropped out after being hired at a radio station called KTRM in 1949. He married Adrienne Joy Frew in 1952 and had a daughter in 1953 named Deborah Joy. Bopper was later drafted into the Army and served as a radio instructor for 2 years. After being discharged, he returned to KTRM and later acquired the position of being the station's program director. In May of 1957, the Big Bopper broke the record for the longest time on air by broadcasting for 122 hours and 8 minutes. Outside of the radio station, Bopper dabbled in singing and songwriting. His biggest hit was Chantilly Lace in 1958, and it managed to stay on charts for 25 weeks. Chantilly Lace was like no other song because it was valued as being amusing and dramatic. The Big Bopper is attributed for performing the first music video in 1958. After the Big Bopper's death, his song, The Running Bear, about the Sabine River and Indian tribes, was released and was the #1 hit for 3 weeks in 1960. Ritchie Valens was born on May 13th, 1931, in Pacoima, California, as Richard Stevens Valenzuela. Valens' parents were Joseph and Conception Valenzuela. Ritchie Valens had 5 siblings: Bob Morales, Connie, Irma, and Mario Ramirez. Valens grew up surrounded by mariachi music and R&B. His interest in music drove him to learn guitar and trumpet, and even later to self-teach himself to play drums. At the age of 16, Valens joined a local band titled the Silhouettes, where he played guitar and would later be the main vocalist. Valens was commonly known for improvising throughout his music. The president of Delphi Records, Bob Keane, was informed about Ritchie Valens' talent and went to discover Valens himself. Bob Keane had Valens audition at his house in a recording studio, and on May 27th, 1956, he signed him to Delphi Records. When Keane decided Valens was ready, he assigned a full band to him, and their first song was formed at Gold Star Studios, called Come On, Let's Go. Valens later wrote 2 songs that were very popular: Donna, For His Real Girlfriend, and La Bamba. La Bamba was such a successful hit that Valens even received a golden disc from the Recording Industry Association of America. Valens, now launching a successful music career, caused him to drop out of high school in autumn of 1958. Valens even had the opportunity to star in the movie Go Johnny Go that featured his song Oh My Head. According to Kaiser, Don McLean's song American Pie has many possible conclusions as to what the song may be referring to, but is mainly considered to allude to the plane crash on February 3rd, 1959, that resulted in the fatalities of Buddy Holly, Big Bopper, and Ritchie Valens. This song can be interpreted in many different ways, but only this story makes the most sense. Many focus on the loss of the 3 rock and roll legends and believe this song ties them to the true day, the day the music died. According to Bellotto, American Pie serves as a eulogy to the following musicians, icons, and states that the day isn't the day that music died, but the day it became immortal. Although the 3 icons may be gone, their legacies live on. Their music still exists, and the memories tied to them. They were only at the beginning of their careers, but managed to capture the hearts of the world. Their songs, all remaining hits from their era: Peggy Sue, Chantilly Lace, and La Bamba. Buddy Holly had over 20 hits, and it inspired many artists such as Stevie Nicks and the Beatles. The Big Bopper dominated the radio industry and helped to evolve the music industry. Ritchie Valens gained a widespread publicity by fabricating a mix of Latin into his rock and roll music, and became the first Latino musician to achieve success in the prevailing industry.